Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. We begin with breaking news at 6. Within the hour, we have learned of Harlan County's first COVID-19 related death. Judge Executive Dan Mosley said the man was hospitalized with the virus before he died last night. He also announced a new case, a 48-year-old woman who is also hospitalized. We will update this story as we learn more on WYMT.com. Meanwhile, the Kentucky River District Health Department announced its first COVID-related death earlier today. The Perry County man actually died in late May and had actually recovered from the coronavirus. WYMT's Connor James talked with the district's public health director about how that works and focuses in on a new spike of COVID cases in the district, the highest recorded in a single week.
We're still in the first wave, and we actually have had the most cases this week that we are reporting out in any week since we have started the pandemic here in our district.
The Kentucky River District has gone relatively unscathed when it comes to COVID-19 cases. In the last week alone, though, the cases have about doubled.
We expected this when we started to see the reopening, that this would occur.
On June 10th, the district announced that all 40 of the COVID cases have recovered. And while that's true, Perry County's first case, a 79-year-old man, died after testing negative.
This individual had been in the hospital and then went to another facility. Unfortunately, from the time they went into the hospital in March, they were never able to return home again.
Lockard says they did not report this initially when it happened on May 30th because of the negative test. While the man had recovered from COVID, the complications it brought on and the other health factors the man had were amplified by COVID. In Perry County, there has been an uptick in new cases, some surrounding a church. Lockard says he doesn't mean to single churches out, though.
But churches, especially if they're doing congregational singing, they really have a condition there. They're setting up an environment that is just prone to the exposure of COVID-19.
In the 7-county region that is under the Kentucky River District's coverage, Letcher County has also seen a spike. They have had new tests this week, including at a local Walmart. A part-time worker at the Letcher County Jail also got the virus. Since then, they have sent home additional staff and isolated inmates.
Letcher County Jail is doing an awesome job with their sanitization up there.
Moving forward, Lockard says the pandemic's impact on our region comes down to one thing: how we handle it.
If we take the precautions that we need to take, we continue to try to stay healthy at home as much as we can, and we're out in public, we wear masks, we take all available precautions, we can slow the virus's spread in our community.
And if we don't, Lockard says their workload may unfortunately only grow. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, the State Department of Public Health made the call to report the Perry County death as a COVID-related death. Also, some new information out of Perry County late this afternoon. 3 new cases just today, and a case reported yesterday. A 20-year-old man is actually an employee at the Save-A-Lot grocery store here in Hazard, and if you went to that store between May 29th and June 14th, you may have been exposed, although the risk is low. Kentucky has now surpassed 13,000 cases of COVID-19. That's up 234 since yesterday, and we've lost 3 more Kentuckians to the virus, actually 4 now if you count the death in Harlan County that was reported after the governor's news conference. So the state's death toll is now up to 521, but at least 3,500 people have recovered. The Johnson County Health Department announced a new case of the virus Wednesday, saying the woman who tested positive is a resident at Venture Home in Paintsville. The 47-year-old woman is asymptomatic, and officials say she is doing well. Public Health Director Julie Bush says the care facility has been working to disinfect the building and is taking extra precautions to keep the incident isolated.
They are delivering meals to their rooms, to the residents' rooms. The workers are. And there is a police presence over there at this time. The city of Paintsville police are over there just making sure that people, they are allowed to go outside. They just can't leave the property.
Bush says the residents and staff have all been tested and they are still waiting for those results. Meanwhile, health officials say an employee at the Clay County Detention Center has tested positive for the virus. We are told the employee that tested positive worked in the front office and away from the inmates. 6 other employees are now self-isolating. The front office is closed to the public and the jail has been too. Jail officials say they are thankful that no inmates have tested positive. Today, the Knox County Health Department is holding drive-through COVID-19 testing as we continue to see an increase in cases across our region. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to health officials about why testing is more important now than ever.
In May, Knox County Health Department hosted drive-through COVID-19 testing and tested more than 200 people in 2 days. Today, however, it's a different story. The testing site has been slow all day. Knox County Public Health Director Rebecca Rain says testing has declined in the last few weeks, which is concerning as the state reopens and cases rise. Knox County has 13 cases as of this evening, 3 of which are active. Rains is encouraging people to be tested, and if they do not want to go to the doctor to do it, the drive-through is a quick and easy way.
That we can keep people out of doctor's offices and social distancing. As you saw earlier when you did the car, we're just testing out in the cars as the people come through so they don't have to get out. It's low touch or no touch.
The testing is being held at Knox County EMS and will be available for about another hour. Now, it is free. You just need to bring an ID and proof of insurance. In Knox County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
The active cases in Knox County are all in self-isolation and are not hospitalized. For a third day, hundreds have lined up in Frankfort waiting to get help with unemployment benefits. Many of them stood outside for hours hoping to get their claims resolved. WYMT's Phil Pendleton talked to people who traveled from all across Kentucky.
Unemployment help Thursday began with some confusion.
275 East Main is where they're doing this at now, okay?
We had been sitting here for close to 4 hours when some random guy just came out and told us that we were all in the wrong location and they had decided to move things.
Joseph Barkley and others learned they were waiting in the wrong place.
What are we supposed to do? That if we've been Kentucky taxpayers our entire lives, where's our help?
So this is March.
The line moved to the Health Cabinet building where, like Wednesday at the Capitol, it stretched completely around the building. And just after 10 o'clock, Kathy Pillion of Middlesboro was at the end of that line.
I've been waiting on level 3, which is here in Frankfort, for 2 months and not received the first penny yet.
Many people are tired and frustrated and just want help. And they believe things could have been done differently.
We would have found some way and some dollars, even though I have no idea where, given our budget hasn't started, to update that system. And we would have done it. When was I inaugurated? December the 10th? I don't know. Seems like a long time ago at this point. We would have done it the next day.
That was Phil Pendleton reporting. Governor Beshear also said in the briefing today that 61 of the 67 people who were turned away when the center closed yesterday have been helped. He said the federal government mandates assistance end at 7, but he says that deadline has been moved to 8 o'clock for tonight.
Well, we saw some scattered showers and thunderstorms return today. No, they weren't severe, but definitely packed a punch. And you can see them here on our camera up into Moorhead along Interstate 64. You could see the gloomy skies and the storms that moved through looking pretty scary over there. I do think they remain mostly on the dry side, though, but I know parts of Moorhead or parts of Rowan County, we're seeing a few of those storms today, and we even saw those move through a lot of our western counties. But for now, we're really just seeing some lighter rain across the area. Some thunderstorms possibly over into Virginia, West Virginia, and some a little bit outside of East Kentucky back towards Lexington, but mostly just rain from Somerset to Laurel County, even over into parts of Clay County and a little bit into Owsley County as well. Temperatures, though, have been on the warmer side for a lot of us today. I think most of us did get into the low to mid 70s. Right now, we're into about the upper 60s to lower 70s, especially if you look into London and Somerset, where they are dealing with that rain right now. Of course, warmer still back towards a little bit Lexington, and Louisville. As we head throughout the rest of the evening hours, we're going to continue to see the scattered thunderstorms turn mostly into scattered showers. Drying out for the most part, though, heading into tonight with those mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will drop into about the lower 60s to start out your Friday, but more showers and storms are possible. Have a look at your Friday and weekend forecast coming up in a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. COVID-19 is impacting businesses large and small across the country. Big box stores like JCPenney, Pier 1 Imports, and others have already announced they are closing some of their locations. In Southern Kentucky, one national business is looking to pay it forward and help out local businesses with forgivable loans. WYMT's Will Puckett has more.
The impact of the coronavirus shutdown can be felt right in Southern Kentucky's own backyard.
Any little amount like this is going to make a difference. Is it the end all? No, I don't know. But if it helps them to move until the next clearance that they get to open up more or bring in more customers, then hopefully this will help them survive and move forward.
Bruce Carpenter is the executive director of the Corbin Industrial Development Commission and the Southern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. He was presented with a unique opportunity for local small businesses just a few weeks ago.
While we do have the small business that do help us a lot, it's always your corporate businesses, your larger corporations that are able to step up to the plate and really help fund those programs.
Northern Conters is the corporation stepping up to the plate this time. They are fronting $15,000 to help small businesses like Joe Houses in Corbin.
It's all about cash flow in my business, day to day, and hopefully that will get us a little more breathing room, just a little added, security.
House is the owner of Corbin 1 Hour Cleaners. He had to reduce his hours and working days when the pandemic hit just to stay afloat.
It has really shut us down about to 40 or 50% of what we used to do on a monthly basis.
For House and his 2 other employees, the $2,500 they could receive from this will help cushion their losses due to COVID-19.
It means a lot for mom and pop businesses like us, without the corporate, brand and things like that. It means everything to us.
And support the mission of all small businesses, from Corbin down to Williamsburg and everywhere in between. In Whitley County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
We now know the identity of a man police found assaulted early Tuesday morning in Hazard. He is in critical condition in ICU, and police say his attacker is now behind bars, charged with attempted murder. WYMT's Lacey Roberts spoke with the lieutenant in charge of the investigation and walks us through what happened.
Blood running down the chair, blood all over the ground, blood on a suitcase behind him.
That was the scene.
We just knew there was a lot of blood.
As Lieutenant John Holbrook arrived here at 248 East Main Street Tuesday morning.
You have a house up front and an apartment building in the back. He was sitting in between those in a lawn chair.
The man assaulted is 46-year-old Robert Beaver of Knott County.
He has been staying here in Hazard for a while in an abandoned house.
Found incoherent yet still breathing.
Mel was actually trying to wrestle a little bit with EMS where he was incoherent and didn't really know what was going on.
Taken to the hospital, things quickly took a turn.
It's very evident that is a severe skull fracture. His skull was actually bashed in, the rear side of his skull.
CT scans determined a brain bleed with a skull fracture.
At that point, we actually went back to the scene because we knew we had something major going on.
Gathering evidence, an arrest was made.
We were able to identify a suspect as being J.C. Couch.
Couch is now in custody at the Kentucky River Regional Jail. In Hazard, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
Couch is charged with attempted murder, tampering with physical evidence, along with possible other pending charges. Anyone with information regarding this incident is asked to call the Hazard Police Department at 606-436-2222. We'll be right back.